Love you, Mama.
Love you, Mama.
We love you.
Love you.
Can't wait to marry you tomorrow.
Marry you tomorrow.
That's
My
right.
cousin's here.
Hello.
Congratulations to Paula and EJ. Looking forward to tomorrow night. The big day, September 3rd, 2022. The same day my mom and dad got married in 1955. Just by coincidence. Praise God.
I'm Sherry, Ethan's little sister. If you guys don't know who I am, the speech will be very short and sweet. Being the youngest girl in the house full of boys, you can all imagine that I didn't always see eye to eye with my siblings. However, I always admired my older brother EJ. He has always been a good example for me and our other siblings as well. One thing that I've always admired about him is about how driven he is. When he wants something, he will do whatever it takes to get it. Whether that be life goals, career goals, he achieves them. I watched my brother become a man, a father, and soon to be a husband. I'm so excited for what tomorrow is going to bring. Paula, even though you already are, I'm excited to officially welcome you on as a sister. You have always been there for us when we needed you. You always come with the greatest gifts for the littles, all perfectly wrapped from Nordstrom, or yourself, because you do really good. Nonetheless, I can't wait for what tomorrow has. Cheers to the Houstons. Paula and EJ.
Sherry said her speech would be short and bad, and she lied. Thank you. Hi, my name is Matt Bromagem. Just one second, my phone just... I'm one of the Bromagem twins. Jake is my brother. I've known EJ from playing sports for most of my life, but we became really good friends about 10 years ago. When we met, I like to remember that EJ and I were both youthful and handsome. Charming, skinny, and in really good shape. Today, 10 years later, I guess we're both really still charming. It's been a really fun 10 years, but I don't know how good it was on our bodies. When I think of one word to describe EJ, the word family is what always pops up. EJ and family go hand in hand. If you're close with EJ, you're either part of his actual family, or he makes you feel like you are. EJ comes from a great and close family. I don't think I've come across anyone that dislikes the Houstons. They are outgoing, charismatic, and likable. They are so likable that they even went on the Family Feud. They did not win the game, nor did they even come close to winning the feud. But they did win over Steve Harvey and the hearts of America. They were the lovable losers. And since the Houstons have Michigan roots, some might say they are the Detroit Lions of the Family Feud. But I like to think of them more as the Fab Five. A Michigan team with a lot of swag that came really close to winning it all. EJ is really close with his family, and I think that's where we truly bonded. We both love our parents, and we are really, really close with our siblings. EJ and I both have sisters whom we love dearly, but we are not as close to in age. The way we show that love is by protecting our sisters and asking for their help and guidance. EJ and I both have brothers who are very, very close to us in age and whom we love to death. The way we have shown that brotherly love to our respective brothers is through screaming arguments, chokeholds, and punches to the face. Here's a fun fact. EJ and I both have a brother named Jake. And we are both actually undefeated in arguments against our brothers. Jake Houston, you cannot fly a helicopter. Jake Browngen, you cannot beat me in basketball. These are unique ways to show brotherly love, but one that EJ and I and our brothers have really bonded over. Speaking of strong bonds, we are here for the union of Paula and EJ. Though Paula and EJ are very similar in that they're likable, outgoing, and fun, I actually believe what made them hit it off so quickly is their love for family. Paula and EJ love family so much that they wasted no time in starting their own. All joking aside, I think I can speak for everyone that we are all so impressed at the family you two created. Caden is such a wonderful kid, and it's because Paula and EJ were meant to be wonderful parents and create their own loving family. Paula, Paula, we all see the profound impact you've had on EJ. We all knew EJ had this in him, but you unleashed his best self, and I've never seen him happier. EJ also seems to bring out the best in you, and I can't think of two people who are a better match. Paula, I'm really honored to be a part of your big day, and I'm really grateful that you and EJ made it possible for me to be here, all the way from Croatia. EJ, even though we've never punched each other or had a screaming argument, you know that I love you like a brother, and I'm really proud to be a part of your family.
I didn't travel all the way from Croatia, so let's start with that. But good evening, everybody, and welcome to this special occasion. You at this table, we're all now family, and we're so honored that you were able to spend this day with all of us. We're really glad to have everybody here. If you don't know, I'm EJ's oldest sister. And after being the only, like anybody, niece, grandchild, whatever, for about 11, 12 years, I prayed really, really, really hard that God would send me a sibling. Like somebody, it doesn't anything. So one Christmas morning, my parents brought home this little baby, and God answered my prayers. In walked through the door like the beautifulest baby, like I knew what a beautiful baby was, but to me, that I've ever saw. Head full of hair, and already I was in love with him. He was everything I could imagine. One would think that like 11, 12 years, you'd have nothing in common, but instantly he literally became my best friend. I thought he was my doll, my baby. We shared so many childhood memories, even though he probably never remembers most of them. I took him on his first slide down Greg's Park. He didn't know about it. I accidentally dropped him in the dishwasher. He didn't know about that either. But from playing house and creating our very own toddler church band, like he was in my choir. He doesn't know about that either, probably. Sleeping in my bed on many stormy nights. I am honored to have watched him grown into the man that he is today. But all in all, the bond that we share is very, very special to me. And EJ, I want you to know that I will cherish that bond forever. I love you, and I thank you for being my little brother. And as the oldest sibling comes great responsibility and a lot of rules. And I really always want to support my siblings, and I really want what's best for them. And I try to, show that with resources and the right support. And with all of you and the guidance of a village, I think that's why he's became the incredible man and father that he is today. He competes, he's very competitive. Probably, don't tell anybody, up to a couple years I could beat him in some things. I can't beat him in anything anymore. He's grown to be stronger than me, even though I'm not going to admit that either. But he's a leader. He stands up for what's right. He fights for social justice. He's a really hard worker, and he's an amazing, amazing father. Just so you know, EJ, I'm very, very proud of you. I know that as your older sister, I'm supposed to be the role model, but in all actuality, you're the role model to me. I want you to know that I look up to you, and I am proud to see the man that you've become today. So fast forward to Christmas 2016, so Christmas must be very significant with us. EJ attended our traditional Christmas party, annual Christmas party that my grandma used to have every year for us. But this time, he brought Paula. And I knew instantly that she was somebody special. So I want to take a moment personally, Paula, to thank you for being there for my brother, for standing by his side. I want to thank you for being his rock. And I know our family will always be there for EJ, but you were there in moments when he needed something else. And I'm so glad that that person is you. I am also honored to share this day with you, and I now have a sister. I've always had a sister, but officially tomorrow Paula will be my official sister. But I'm so honored to share that with you. And now we get to share being his role model and share being his best friend. And I'm so grateful that it's you. Thank you for being an amazing mother to my nephew, for raising him. There's no one else I could imagine to be by his side. Because I know how special, because he did tell me, how special you are to him. So because the wedding hashtag is Along Came Paula, I thought it would be fitting to take a quote from the movie. So Along Came Paula, most of you don't know, was a 2004 sitcom where Ruben went inside his hippopotamus and he finds his life taking a different turn when along came Paula and he falls in love. So there's a quote in the movie and it says, "It's not about what happened in your past or what you think might happen in the future. It's all about the ride." And then it says, there is no point going through all of this crap. They use the word shit. I'll say crap, shit, crap. So if you're not going to enjoy the ride, and what are you doing? And then it says, when you least expect something great comes along, something better than you ever planned for. So everybody raise a glass to me, because that someday has come, because along came Paula, and we're so honored that it did. Cheers to amazing couple and blessings for a lifetime of enjoying the ride. I love you guys.
I'm actually quite surprised to see all the Houstons here with the state fair going on. If you didn't know, since they've stopped working there, Sweet Martha's has posted record sales because they've stopped handing out thousands of garbage bags of cookies. I first met EJ in 2001. We were both freshmen in homeroom class, and EJ had the courage to talk to me and bond over an East Bay magazine. It was very fitting our first bond was over the love of shoes. I had met a few other friends at this point, but EJ was the first person at Cretan that I had a true bond with that was not forced like the lunch table I sat at. We became close extremely fast, bonding over our love of sports. Very quickly, EJ was invited to weekend sleepovers, which very quickly turned into the question of, "Hey Steve, do you care if my brothers come along?" It's not often that you gain a best friend and automatically comes with two more. As someone who grew up with 2 sisters, 3 Irish twin brothers was quite amazing to see as an only boy. I learned very quickly why EJ had the personality he did. EJ was not quiet and awkward like the rest of my friends, but charming and outgoing. He was the only friend who would come over and say, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Lendway," and chat with my family. He was a true gentleman early on, and it was very contagious to those around him. Often when sleeping over at EJ's, he would be doing laundry, ironing clothes, making dinner, and I was wondering who does this as a freshman in high school, but EJ did. He had jobs before most kids did in high school, and always seemed to be driving around in some different Firebird or Honda Civic, which were always manual, which didn't really change much until about a year or so ago. EJ played football, basketball, and ran track. This man could literally do it all. He would be the first one down the court on the fast break, miss the layup, get the rebound, make the layup. So he was also brilliant at padding his stats. You are looking at the once fastest man in the state with possibly the greatest six-pack a high school student could have. Girls liked EJ, and guys wanted to be like EJ. By senior year, everyone at Creighton knew EJ, and I was lucky to call him one of my best friends. Then college came, and a new, darker EJ had emerged. The first, most badass thing you can do as a Catholic schoolboy, now on your own, is go to the Mall of America, sit in the window at a glitz and glammed up Claire's, and get your ears pierced with your friends. With this new dangerous side came an even more outgoing EJ. Facebook was the new thing, and most of us had like 200 or 300 friends, which was basically just high school kids you never talked to. But then you'd look at EJ, and he's already climbing in the thousands. EJ was, and to this day is, the biggest social butterfly I know. Everywhere you go on the U of M campus, you'd always run into EJ or possibly Jake and Isaiah. With a massive amount of friends, you'd think it's impossible to remain loyal and stay in touch. With EJ, that was never an issue. You could go days, months, years, but the next time you saw him, it picks right up where you left off. Have a good sleep on the couch together, and you're right back to being best friends. He did this with literally everyone I know. With EJ's deep connections and loyalty comes danger. Often people were jealous of the amount of friends and connections, so they'd often find themselves lying on the ground after the bar closed, especially if it involved his brothers. I never fully understood it until someone was once choking me, and that person somehow ended up 25 feet on the other side of the room, followed by EJ speaking with the bouncer getting that person kicked out. I'm not condoning violence, but love makes you do crazy things. EJ loved all his friends and family like I've never seen. Even with this newfound love for a good fight or two here and there, EJ always remained humble and willing to meet and grow an already enormous group of friends. Like most people in their 20s, hanging out on Saturdays or Sunday after a night out was always the best part. Everyone forgot what they did the night before, but leave it to EJ to fill you in on every detail. What the girls look like you were talking to her, or even the amount and the types of pizza you consumed. The college years truly flew by, and EJ was the glue holding all the friendships together well into our 30s. While a lot of friends were settling down or getting married, EJ always kept himself available as a friend. I can honestly say most people here, and most people not, that probably aren't here, that'll be at the wedding, people that aren't at the wedding, have some of the closest friendships they have, or they would not have them if it were not for EJ. If you made a murder board, think of like an investigation with EJ right in the middle and tied together how everyone met, EJ would probably be the most prolific serial killer of all time. My life has truly been amazing because of all of the people in it, and I owe most of that part to EJ. Which brings me to the last chapter, semi-responsible EJ. I'll never forget sitting down at the Van Buren house, looking at a trail up looking at a trail of chewed up pen caps. EJ could turn a pen cap into a flat sheet of plastic somehow, meaning EJ might be nervous. He began to tell me how he believes he found the one. I don't think I'd met Paul at this point, but I could see in his eyes, and of course from the pen caps, that this man was 100% going to marry this woman. When you've seen the love from a friend with so many over the years, you just know it. And I know he was truly in love and happy. I then met Paula, and it all made sense. Two incredible humans, two people with very large groups of friends who think the world of them. It all made sense. Paula, like EJ, had a perfect smile that was contagious, which also led me to believe she chewed on pen caps, which was the secret to whiter teeth and a great smile. You could see the love and happiness between the two of them, and it just felt like it was meant to be. The next thing I remember is EJ pushing me very hard to get over to his place as soon as possible. And with that, I saw the exact same look in his eyes as when he told me Paul was the one, that he and Paul were pregnant. It was, as we all know, pretty shocking at the time, but we all knew how amazing of a father you would be without question. You can do it all. You can do it all, and you had a village, but you definitely didn't even need the village. EJ once called me out in front of my senior year class without my knowledge about how our friendship meant so much to his life. I think I can say the same thing for you. You've saved a lot of people's lives by bringing people and loved ones together. That never would have happened if it weren't for you. With that said, I can see you have found a person for you in your life after bringing so many others together. I love you both. Cheers to you.
Yeah, I just want to say, we want to say thank you guys for coming out tonight, for the kind words. This is amazing to have the love in this room. You guys, and our son, and our cousin. I'm really, really touched tonight. Excited to share it tomorrow with you. So, thanks. Hang out for a bit here. And yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow for the big day.
honor, and cherish you from this day forward. I vow to encourage you and to protect you as my husband. I will stand by you as your wife and your brother. I choose you today, and I will choose you forever. You are my husband, my love.
Before you, I didn't understand what love is. In you, I found a life partner, a lover in a safe place. I found someone I can be my most vulnerable with, who support and inspire me, respect and honor me, and embrace all the parts that make me who I am. I take you to be my wife. I promise to love, honor, and cherish you from this day forward. I vow to encourage you in all things, to support you and protect you as my wife. Our marriage and our family will always be my priority, and I will love you with all my heart until my last breath. I, EJ, give you Paula. This ring is a symbol of my love. All right. As I place it on your finger, I commit the whole of my heart and my soul to you. I promise to cherish you for the rest of my life. I give you all I am and accept all that you are.
Family and friends, it is said that true love stories never have endings. May we all rejoice and look forward to watching this story grow in the love that they have today and always. By the power vested in me, I am pleased to present Mr. and Mrs. EJ and Paula Houston, husband and wife.
How are you feeling?
Good.
It's been an amazing day.
Yeah, it's everything we could have
Wanted and more. Yes, 100%.
Ever since you found me, we the only thing I see. Forever and a day, it's you and me, and they can't replicate this unity. No pressure. Honestly, I love the way you carry it. It was an easy decision, I had to marry it. Honeymoon, I'ma put you on a chariot, and they don't make them like you no more. No pressure. I can see them watching and they try to do better, but you one in a million, you ain't average. Girl, I promise I'ma have you living lavish. Take a trip, girl, we're about to vanish. 'Cause I'll go anywhere, anywhere, just as long as you're with me. 'Cause girl, I know that you get me, so I'll go anywhere. 'Cause I'll go, so I'll go anywhere. 'Cause I'll go, so I'll go anywhere.
Friends
And all I gotta say is there ain't no problem here because the whole Houston clan is here to back you up. And in NASA, we got all the friends in the control room. So, yeah, we got it going on. I told my brother-in-law, Nick, that I don't think I can go to the wedding, Nick. This is last night at the dress rehearsal. He goes, why? I said, because I gotta speak, and I just don't think I can do it. I can't go up behind Shariana, Jamie, Matt, Steve, man, they knocked it out of the park last night. I hope somebody got it on video, because that was four phenomenal speeches, and it really took me down memory lane. Memory lane? Yeah. You know, EJ's now 35. Finally, I'm alive to see this beautiful reunion. Paula and EJ. And I'm so glad that EJ found a wife, because the Bible says, a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. Amen. And finds favor with the Lord. Yeah, and Paula, I got a proverb for you too. Proverbs 31:10. An excellent wife who can find. She is far more precious than jewels. And you are. You are far more precious than jewels. She's far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband is in her, and he will have no lack of gains because of you, because you're backing my son EJ. And you guys are a good unit. And I'm so grateful for both of you. I'm grateful for my grandson, Caden. You know, my son was the firstborn son to me. And I also told Nick, I said, you know, when I told you about standing up and talking, and Nick says, Cheryl, you don't have to say nothing. You can just stand up there and say, I carried you for 9 months. And I speak out, and there you go. You know, so he said, don't you worry about it. I have one other scripture I wanted to say. And that is because God's word is so good and so true. Amen. And two are better than, can you hold the mic for me? Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up the other fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, they can keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, so if another guy comes after EJ and he's alone, he might have a tough time, but I doubt if he would. But two will withstand that guy. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken. So I have my 3-cord cord here. It's not easily broken because we have EJ and Paula here, and then we have God here. And with God, that union is not going to be easily broken. So this will be a lifetime until death do us part, and you have a family, and I'm so grateful for both of you, and I'm so grateful that you're a part of our family, and I want to give honor where honor is due to Mr. and Mrs. Kim. Without them, Paul would be here. Without me and Mr. Houston, EJ would be here. And we love you both and very grateful.
First of all, I just want to send my greatest appreciation for everybody that's in this room. because I feel like everybody in this room played a part in the development of my son, who is now in the genesis of him becoming a father, a man, and a family leader. And as a man, this is what, you live for. This is one of the greatest moments to me of all times. So I just want to thank you guys for what you've done to help in this development, because you guys helped me in a time where, whether you knew it or not, and my deficiencies is where you guys picked up and made sure that he stayed whole and healthy. And it's no words that can describe my appreciation for you guys. The Cretan family, the football players that he was around, I am so grateful for you guys, because that allows for him to have an environment far different from what I grew up in, far more secure. It allows for him to be a productive person. I look at him and I say, wow, what a man. And I said to myself, and I see all of you people, and I say, this is where my gratitude, should extend. And I want to encourage you guys to continue in this development, that we couldn't have got to this day without all of you guys. And I want to say to Paula is that I am so grateful, and I love you as though, you were a daughter, because I know the joy that you're going to, I see it. The joy that you bring to my son. And when you bring that joy to my son, it's like you bring it to me. And I want to welcome the Kim family in, because now we're all one family at this point. And I want to reach out and extend love and gratitude toward each other. And to my son, man, I love you. When I think about this here, you're the part of me that I didn't see me. You're the part of me that made me want to be whole to see this day. It is nothing that I wouldn't do to bring forth this day. This is the happiest day that I can imagine experiencing. And when I see Paula, I'm sorry, but I think this day wouldn't be possible without you. So you're just as equally important as he is. Paula is engineer, you're the conductor. You're about to board a train, and it's going to have some precious cargo on it. So I want you to be careful on the people who you let board that train. Because the people that board that train are going to influence everything that happens on the train. So as an engineer, she's going to deliver a path that's going to get the cargo to where it needs to be. And it's your job as a conductor to make sure that it arrives there safe and sound. A better conductor and a better engineer to engineer, the next generation of my family. So I just want to extend the most joyous, celebrative moment. I just want to say thank you, God, for the product that we all in this room helped produce. It was not just me, it was this room, and I want the room to continue to help in the development of this product. And I just want to thank God for everybody in my whole family.
There we go. That's something from Canon. All right. First and foremost, and this is not written in my speech, I do want to take a moment. I'm already fighting tears. I want to take a moment just to recognize someone that isn't here today. Grandma Bunky.
we all love her and miss her. And she would have loved to be here today. So, take that moment. All right. Hello, everybody. And thank you for coming to this beautiful day that Paul and EJ have come together and decided to bring two amazing families together. And they're so beautiful. And I couldn't be happy for you both. But my name is JetterVision. For those that don't know me, I'm the middle child of the family and the closest in age to EJ. We'll start with the most beautiful one, Paula. I want to start by saying you look amazing. Thank you for bringing these two beautiful families together. It's amazing to think back and see how far we've come since your days of joining our crew. From bar hopping, concerts, and club scenes, to board game nights, barbecues, and park visits with the kids. I'm still not certain if mornings have gotten easier or not. I have to thank you for being the most beautiful soul that you are, the incredible partner to my brother. I know at some point EJ has warned you about his siblings, brothers and sisters, yet you're willing to take on the challenge of fitting into this tight sibling circle anyway. Here we are many years later, and you've become a huge family pillar in our life. I cannot thank you enough for the many times you have supported me and my son's side. It is no mystery to those who know the Houstons that we put family first, and you carry that trait with your very being. I'm not done with this speech, but I would like to raise a glass to Paula and her family, the Kims, and the Greers.
Yes!
That helps. All right. Well, on to the roast of EJ. Many people don't know this, but growing up, EJ used to wear Coke bottle glasses and had the baby of a baby maple leaf tree. Because of our closest in age, we did everything together. That included playing on countless sport teams together throughout our life. One particular year, EJ was the tallest player on our basketball team. Because of this, he was deemed the center position on our rec squad. On the opposing team was a future D1 Iowa lineman that goes by the name of Raphael Eubanks. I'm fairly certain that this boy, Raph, who we did not know at the time, but we do know today, was as big and as strong as he is now in the 5th grade. EJ fearlessly drove into score on this man-sized 5th grader. And when Raph went to block him, he landed on top of him like a boulder hitting that tiny maple tree. I thought we had lost EJ at that point. But to everyone's surprise, EJ got up and took his free throws. Because EJ is strong. When I think back over the years, I remember all the times EJ has been strong for his family. Being a natural leader, his guidance has kept us out of trouble early in life. Now I get to see that strength and guidance come through for his family. EJ is the type of person you want by your side, whether it's a good or bad situation. His loyalty to those around him is rarely equal. He's always inclusive, making sure people feel involved, which is probably why there's an 18 people wedding party. And probably 10 more speeches to go. There's no one in my life that has left a bigger impression on me. I know how much EJ has loved me in my life and can't imagine how much more love he has for his own family. I'm proud of you, EJ, for finding a woman as wonderful as Paula.
They say an ideal husband understands every word his wife doesn't say. So understand and cherish your wife. Exemplify all those great qualities you have shown me over the years and more. You both deserve all the happiness this world can offer. Now I'd like to raise a glass once more and end with this quote. Let's see. I have two here and I'm choosing one now. Remember, we all stumble. Every one of us. That's why we find comfort to go hand in hand with another. Thank you, Paula and EJ.
We love you, Jake.
I love you.
I want to start off by thanking everyone in this room for attending, as well as everyone's hard work and dedication, the sacrifice of our parents and family members to be here today. As Wilbert said, without you guys, without the efforts of everyone in this room, we are the people that we are. We've gotten away pretty clean so far without too much roasting. So my mom tells me that when Paula came home, when she was born, I thanked her for a beautiful baby sister, and I'd crawl into her crib and almost dropped her because I wanted to hold her. I was 3 years old. And so it started off beautifully, and like everything else in life, we've had ups and downs, but our foundational love for each other as family and as sisters has never wavered. And so we'll go back to me being the oldest. Being the oldest comes with some responsibility, as you may know. It comes, and it's often thankless. I gave her a haircut, a really great one, with plastic pink bunny scissors. And not only did she not appreciate it, my dad thanked me with a spanking. That was great. Another time, I came home from college and found a brand new bottle of Malibu hidden in a hiding spot. Claimed it. Obviously saved you from a minor. So we can talk about those later, right? But I think we can both agree where we both came together was occasionally Paula would get bullied by some, mean gals or mean kids in school. So then I'd jump right in, whether it was like, dial tone telephone or whatever, 25 years ago. And my famous quote was, "Nobody picks on my sister except me." So always my sister. There have been times in life where we have floated apart because of the different things that were going on, but I've never wavered or questioned that you would be there for me, or there was never a question of my loved ones within my family, and it started with you. You too, filter. After we got married, Trevor, my husband, helped bring us together. He said, you have to hang out with your sister more. I'm going to invite you, I'm going to invite her more. And we started hanging out, and then we departed to Seattle. And then we came back together again thanks to the union of you two, which we can say started off a little skeptical, right? So let's move on to meeting EJ. So we first met EJ when Paula brought him to our family's tradition of gathering all the Kim cousins. Kim cousin table over there. Also super weird because we usually take over, but like, we better match because
like, wow, that's a real show off.
So I'm usually like more the merrier, but the one thing that I get a little wary of is my cousin time. I really like my cousin. Let's make some shenanigan time. No one understands you better than your cousins, right? So then EJ comes in, and I'm like, who's this? Hi. But he's this cool, calm, pleasant self, and then he tells us that he's going to meet our parents. Joe, Trevor, and I start laughing. We're like, good luck. So that's my dad. If you haven't met my dad, have any of you seen Squid Games? Anyone listen to man who looks like that? It's Nikki.
Love you, Dan.
We were wrong. I'm glad you were right. I remember you saying, I got this, no problem. They're going to love me. I'm like, okay, sure, it might take a while, but you won them over. The rest of the speech wasn't written, so we're going to go heart to heart now. I'm glad you won them over. Thank you so much for giving us Caden, bringing our family together. I see how much of a family man you are. I see a good pair for my sister. My sister needs to be pushed, and you do that in a loving way. Most of the time she says, gotta get her with her. And so if I give you any advice for the future, it's to know that life has ups and downs, and will float up and float down. And when I think about it, it's always stamina. Stamina to persevere through hard times and then not hang on to it, so you can enjoy the great times. Stamina to keep going when you don't feel like you can. Stamina to continue parenting when you're too tired. Stamina to gross but create another kid if your mind's in the gutter. But yeah, cheers to you. Thank you. And we're here for you. We love you.
All right, I feel like I'm living in the 1970s with my printed paper. I had somebody fax it to me.
Ghostwriter.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here tonight. It means a lot to me, and I know I know EJ and Paula deeply appreciate all of you beautiful people coming together to celebrate their love. As I sat down to write this, I immediately started to feel nervous and anxious little butterflies dancing in my belly, and not because I waited until the 11th hour to start writing the speech, or because I don't have much practice with public speaking, but because when I started thinking of what I wanted to say, I realized what a daunting and nearly impossible task it is to distill a relationship or bond like the one we have down to just a few minutes. For those who don't know me, I'm Isaiah, EJ's youngest brother, so I've had the pleasure of knowing EJ for all 33 years of my life. It's hard to express how blessed I am to be born with two built-in best friends. Someone to show me the ropes, to play with, share laughs with, and someone who is always there in tough times to help me pick myself up and keep moving forward. So tonight, I would like to share with you a few memories I have that highlight the kind of person EJ is and what he's meant to me. The first memory I'd like to share goes all the way back about 30 years and comes courtesy of my late grandmother Twinkie and her oversized RCA video camera. It was Christmas time and we were taking turns opening gifts, showing off what we got from the camera. I was about 4 at the time and it was my turn to open them. My mom handed me a gift and helped me open it. When I finally got it unwrapped, I stepped closer to my mom and away from the giant panda sleeping bear I had just unwrapped, a little apprehensive and unsure of what it was. I wasn't too sure I wanted anything to do with this giant bear, but not EJ. Within seconds, EJ let out a big, "Yeah, awesome!" as he started pushing me towards it. Get in, he shouted excitedly, but I was still unsure and slowly inching closer to it. So EJ just rushed past me and got in the giant sleeping bag and says, "See, like this." And as quick as he was in it, he was out again and back to ushering me inside the bag, which I did ever so carefully. And this memory reminds me of how EJ has been throughout our lives. Always bubbly and energetic and excited for me. Even when you're unsure of yourself or doubting, EJ was there to encourage me. EJ was there to encourage me and to jump in and lead by example. He was always there to help boost my confidence and let me know it would be okay or to show me the ropes. Fast forward about 12 years, and the next moment that stuck out with me was when I was a sophomore in high school and EJ was a senior. 1 second.
5.
Competing. EJ was a senior competing in the Minnesota State High School Championship track meet. He had asked me to come down on the track with him before the race to hold the starting blocks. I was so honored to share in such a big moment for him, and I'll never forget being down on that track as he was warming up for the biggest race of his life. I looked out at the crowd of spectators and began feeling nervous despite not even being the one competing. But when I looked over to EJ, he looked calm, focused, and ready to take on the best runners in the state with a quiet confidence. And once again, EJ assuaged my anxieties and made me feel like everything was going to be all right. So as he finished getting off his warm-ups and putting them in the laundry basket, I felt like I had to give him back some of the confidence and energy he had just given me. So I told him something along the lines of this. I said, hey, this is it. You've worked for 4 years, you've put in time and sweat for this moment, and now it's time to go out there and show everyone you're the fastest 400-meter runner in the state this year. I hugged him and told him I was proud and how much I loved him. Afterwards, he got into the starting box, and when I stood back on the back of his blocks, holding the laundry basket full of his things, I looked up at the crowd again, and I knew he was going to kill it. And then bang, the starter gun went off, and I gathered the blocks and warm-ups and hurried to cheer him on from the stands. 48.81 seconds later, EJ was crossing the finish line as a state champion. Told him that I knew he would do it and how proud I was. And this moment means so much to me. To be able to share in such a big moment was really special and is another instance where EJ showed me what it means to lead by example. In this moment, he showed me that if you really want something bad enough and you stay consistent in the work you do, you put in day out, that you can come out on the other side successful. Fast forward another 12 years or so, when I decided to sublease our buddy Matt's room in Northeast Minneapolis, who just happened to be EJ's roommate at the infamous Van Buren house. Over the next year, when I'd come home off the road from work, I noticed he started to bring this girl Paula around, and that they seemed to be spending more and more time together. I knew things were starting to get serious because he'd tell me how awesome she was and how lucky he was to find someone like her. And then months later, he would inform me that he was going to be moving out of our place and moving in with Paula, and that she was pregnant. I was a little shocked and nervous for him, but once again, when I looked at him, I didn't sense that he was scared of taking such a big step. If anything, I'd say he had an excited look in his eye about the future and for the baby that was on the way. And in the coming months, I got to witness him mature and grow. As I saw I got to witness him mature and grow as I saw how serious he was taking the coming responsibilities and saw him start to put in the work to prepare for the arrival of his oncoming child. He went into work with the mindset of wanting to be the best version of himself for his son on the way, and I saw him go from a salesman on the floor to an assistant manager into the manager of his own store in a few short years. How he got his finances together, saved up, bought a ring, and proposed to Paula. Before I knew it, they were fulfilling their goal of buying a home together to raise their family and before this oncoming wedding. And once again, it proved to me that if you want something bad, you're willing to take the steps and consistently put in work, that you can achieve your goals. So now today I have the honor of standing before you like I did back in 2005 and tell you how proud I am of you and the man and the father you become. How you knocked it out of the park when you found Paula. Such an amazing person who has blended into our wacky and rambunctious family. She's an incredible mother who's given the world an incredible gift, and my amazing nephew Canon, who is such a sweet and fun little boy, a perfect mix of you both. She's an excellent listener who always made me feel heard, seen, and valued. She is a sweet, kind, and caring person, but can also be fiercely protective of the one she loves. So great job, girl. Now do what it takes to keep one of her caliber around. Yes. So if everyone could raise a glass with me at this time as I proclaim my hopes for you in the next chapter to come. My hope for you is that you keep up the work, keep being consistent, hardworking, but fun-loving person that landed you such a catch. Keep taking on life's challenges with that quiet confidence and continue reaching for and achieving your goals and being the example for the rest of us like you always have. I love you. Love you too.
We all know that the Houstons love to party.
Better ask somebody.
For those of you that don't know, I'm Tiffany. I'm Paula's younger sister, one of her best friends, and maid of honor. When I was little, we weren't always the closest with our 8-year age gap, but as we both have grown, I am so happy to have gotten close to Paula and bond over music, adventure, and food. I've really been able to see Paula grow through the challenges of life and become the mother and now wife we see today. Growing up, I've always admired her for her taste, both with fashion and food. If you don't know, Paula always had the best snacks and the best style.
Talk about it.
Her generosity, humor, and caring nature. Paula's gift giving is on a whole nother level of thoughtfulness.
Yes.
Makes me look a little bit bad as an auntie, but it's fine. Her actions has always and will continue to show her heart of gold. With all these traits, I'm so fortunate that I've never had to live a day in my life without you as my sister. How crazy things have changed within 5 years. It feels like just yesterday, Paula and I were road tripping down to Denver, exploring all the hikes, living up the single life. I remember being at Somerset Music Festival in August 2017, floating down the Apple River with 2 other girlfriends and her, chatting all about this new EJ guy and the excitement he brought into Paula's life that hasn't been felt before. She was texting him every opportunity she got, even during the music sets.
I know.
It was after this weekend I remember thinking, this EJ guy must really be something. And it was about a half year later from that thought that Paula let me in on the news that she was pregnant. Oh man, was I worried about this poor man having to face my parents with that. It definitely took some time, but with EJ's lovable and fun-loving personality and the way he had stepped up to support Paula as a partner, he was able to fit right into our family. My dad can be very hard to win over, so I applaud you, EJ, and see all the effort that you have put into your growing family. No relationship is perfect, and like every couple in this room, Paula and EJ have had their fair share of such trials. But they have pushed through every single one, maintaining the fire and love in their relationship, challenging each other every day to become better. There really is no better fit for Paula than EJ, and I know Paula agrees, whether she likes to admit that or not. I applaud both of you for the life you have created together, and can't wait to see how it will continue to flourish. I am so honored to get the opportunity to be a part of EJ and Paula's special day, but I'm even more honored to now be a part of the wonderful Houston family. EJ, thank you so much for all that you have done for my nephew and my beautiful sister. I see your hard work and I'm amazed by it each and every day. Paula, I'm so happy you were able to find someone who helps amplify the very traits I admire you for and challenges you when you need it. I love seeing the happiness motherhood brings to you, and I look forward to the many memories to come with your family. Now let's raise our glass to the Houstons. Yeah! Here's to the newlyweds.
Good job, baby.
And last,
it's honestly really hard to follow all these speeches. Everyone's been so nice, and that's not my style. If I love you, I talk crap about you, and that's how I show you my love, right? So, I'm gonna get into it. It's customary for the best man to thank everyone for being here, for traveling near and far. I like to keep it a little real. We're all eating and drinking for free, so how about we thank the bride and groom for coming? Paula and EJ, Thank you guys for hooking up. Thank you guys for getting pregnant. Thank you guys for finding out we're pregnant. Thank you for that beautiful creature you created. Where'd you go?
Wherever he is.
Okay. Wonderful. And again, thank you for getting to this point, and thank you for including us all. Thank you. I'd like to start by recounting a love story about two souls destined to connect. Two strangers, really, entering each other's lives as mutual friends and experiences. Took notice of each other, but never acted on their undefined feelings. Until one day, they'll argue about who made the first move, but that doesn't really matter. Once that line was crossed, it was a whirlwind love story for the ages. That's how EJ and my relationship began. I promised Paul I wouldn't make this about me, but EJ and I knew each other all through high school. We didn't really connect in high school, but we bonded. There was a bond there for sure. It's based on mutual love, support, good people. We shared a lot in common, both athletes, both very good looking, both extremely handsome. So, athlete EJ, as some might have known him, actually did some damage on the track, as some stories have been told. Won some races, set some records. When he stands up, you'll see he's about 70% legs, 5% torso. 25% overinflated ego. That's my guy. We became a lot closer in college. That's when our love story really began. On the streets of Dinkytown, we exchanged our youth for some kick-ass memories and some near-death experiences. One of our first expeditions was Madison, 2007, Halloween. Probably the only appropriate story I can tell. I won't go into all the details of how I ended up shirtless, covered in glitter with fairy wings as my only accessory. But I'll tell you how EJ saved my life that night. We split up early in the night, and the night got on, and it was winding down. EJ and I never learned how to call it a night. Attribute my wife and his still appreciate about us. So I decided I'm going to go out and find my friend. After a semi-coherent phone call, I had a destination. I thought I could find where I was going, right? And before I got off the phone, I told EJ, it's cold, I'm shirtless, and my phone's about to die. If I don't make it to you, you gotta come find me. She said 3 words, I got you. Which, if you've ever heard those words from EJ, it's all the ammunition you need to run through a wall. As soon as I got outside, I knew I made a bad decision. It was cold. I was lost within 5 minutes, and I thought I could find my way. No. I decided to use, out of desperation, my last 2% of battery to make that phone call. EJ, I'm lost. I got you. Follow my voice. Which is weird, right? We're in a town. No idea where I'm at, but if you know EJ, he lacks the ability to be quiet. So hung up, listened, and sure as hell, I hear my name. And it sounded like it was right next to me, but actually like 4 or 5 blocks down. So continue my path, continue my journey, looking, and at this point I'm numb, cold. And then I hear, look up, and there's EJ on the balcony, waiting for me. I don't know how we found each other that night. It's a mystery, but I think that speaks to our love. See, as long as I've known EJ, we have a million of those stories, and none of them will provide any indication of the type of husband and the type of father he will become, but it doesn't really matter because we get to witness that in real time. Your evolution has been beautiful to witness, and your dedication to Canon and Paula has been inspiring. Now we get to Paula, the woman that stole my man. I was actually trying to remember the first time we met, and I couldn't, but it's always felt like you've been there. You've melded in seamlessly. So it just, you've been there the whole time. You know, there's always that weird, awkward moment when meeting one of your friend's significant others. I think it'd be cool, it'd be weird. And it was the same thing with Paula. She actually never talked. So we played a game called Paula Goes First.
I talk, you can't hear me.
Shut up. That's right. That's probably shots, games, questions, Paula had to go first. So that's what we did to get her to finally open up. And once we got to know you, Paula, I can say with full confidence, on behalf of all of our friend group, that we prefer you so much more than each other.
You made the cut, you made the cut.
You're kind, you're thoughtful, beautiful is an understatement, you're so generous, so welcoming, as long as people leave by 10 p.m. And shout out to the Kim family for raising such an amazing human. Yeah! Paula, you've provided me with a sense of purpose and stability that I've known he's always needed. You complement each other so well. If we compare your love, your true love as a song, Paula would be the rhythm, the harmony, the beat that carries you through the entire song, and EJ would be the hype man screaming in the background. Big Little John, DJ Khaled, we the best. Paula, last thing I want to say to you is thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for loving my brother as much as I do. The only problem that we have to deal with now is there's another Houston for everyone to deal with. If I can have everyone raise their glass to the new couple, Paula, EJ, as you look out into the crowd and the raised glasses, I want you to remember one thing. We got you.
I'd like to invite all guests to the dance floor.